What's up, concert addicts? Johnny Kinswater here with Concert Addiction with a country music festival update. It's not a festival lineup announcement because part of this lineup has already been announced, but they've pretty much completed it at this point, it looks like, anyways, and that would be Country Jam Colorado, the annual event that takes place every June up near Grand Junction, Colorado. It's one of the bigger country festivals that happens in the country, at least, especially in this area. We already got the headliners announcement before the new year. We knew that the headliners were going to be Sam Hunt, Alabama, Luke Bryan, and Little Big Town, which are all at least arena acts. Sam Hunt and Luke Bryan, obviously, done stadiums, and Alabama been in the game long enough that they were at a point in time they were doing shows that big as well. They've gone back to mostly just playing arenas and amphitheaters and things like that. Occasionally, we still get a big show out of them, but the fact that they're bringing the traditional older sound mixed in with somebody like Sam Hunt and Luke Bryan, it was already shaping up to be a great festival. Obviously, Little Big Town thrown in there too. They've been on fire the past couple years. Now we find out who else is going to be playing with them, and I'll just run down the list of names, the order that they're listed on this bill. And it will start with Cole Swindell, who, if you've been following my channel or you know anything about me, because I talk about it a lot and it comes up a lot, Cole Swindell is one of my favorite live acts to see. I believe I've seen him the most times. And last year, if you want to go back and watch my top 10 video, he was my number one show that I went to last year. I just think he just brings so much charisma and character and things like that, and he's a hardworking dude, you can tell. He's another one of these guys whose career has kind of taken off fast. He's only been in Nashville for like 5 or 6 years, and he's already doing big tours and playing festivals and things like that. I'm a little shocked that he's not a headliner, but he was also announced that he's going back on the road, not headlining this year. He might do a headline tour as well, but he's actually going back out in support of Luke Bryan this coming year instead of doing headlining. So, but that's not a knock on him at all, because I've never been in that position, so I don't know what I would prefer to do. But he's tried it all at this point, and so now he's coming to these festivals, which he's played before, but I don't know that he's played this one. Yeah, solid pick. Next is Kelsea Ballerini, and I've been thinking for the past 3 years that Cole Swindell, who we just mentioned, and Kelsea Ballerini, we're gonna do a tour together, and I've been even though I base that off of nothing. I haven't heard any rumors. I haven't seen anything. It's just something that I thought was a perfect fit that should definitely happen because they were both breaking out around the same time. Still hasn't happened, but they're both going to be on this festival, which is awesome. I had a chance to meet Kelsea Ballerini a couple years ago, and she just is an awesome presence, and her on stage persona as well is just phenomenal. And obviously she was the first female artist in history to have her first 3 songs all come in at number 1. So she's obviously a record breaker, and her and Cole Swindell both, I figure, at some point in time will end up being a headliner at Country Jam, because they're just on a track that's not slowing down. They've just been going and nothing stopping them. So I love to see that. And then the third name on the top line is Chris Janson, and that's a solid pick for something like this. Obviously, I'm not obviously, I don't know why I said obviously, but I'm not a huge Chris Janson fan as far as his music goes. He's got a couple of songs I enjoy, a couple of songs I don't, but what is undeniable is that long before he had any songs on the radio, he has been killing it as a live performer, as an opener, whatever. I have never had a chance to see him, but I really want to, because I've heard from a lot of people that his show is like nothing else. Just the type of energy he brings. He puts on a very Dustin Lynch-like performance, is what I've heard. And obviously his songs are very singable. So he's another one of these artists. I have a list of people who I'm not a huge fan of, but I would still like to see live. And mostly they're bigger names like Justin Timberlake and Pink and Lady Gaga. Obviously not music that I listen to, but I've just heard they're that good on stage that I one day want to see one of their shows. Chris Janson's kind of the same thing, just because I've heard that he brings something different, something new, and I can't describe what it is because I haven't seen him, but he's actually coming to my city next month, and I'm going to try to score tickets to it. So we'll see, and Yeah, he has played big shows too in the headliner position. He headlined the Greeley Stampede a couple of years ago. And he's done a lot of these big tours with these other artists as well too, so he will fit in perfectly here, and I'm happy to see that. Next, we got the Eli Young Band, who has slowed down, through my eyes anyways. Maybe they haven't, but I remember a point in time, maybe 5 to 10 years ago, where I feel like they were bigger. And obviously, artists go, the careers, it's unpredictable. But I remember they used to tour. They toured with Rascal Flatts at one point. We're playing amphitheaters, and they've got a bunch of songs on the radio and things like that. But the past couple of years, every time they've come through my area, they've just been playing bars and honky tonks and things like that. They haven't played a big show in a while, and I wasn't exactly sure why that was. And so I'm not going to speculate at all, because it might just be because that's what they like to do. But that being said, it is cool to see them joining these huge other artists on such a mainstream festival. And if they're looking for a kick, maybe this will give them that kick. Who knows? To maybe just to kind of jumpstart their career again. Who knows? But obviously, they'll be a great addition to this lineup. Michael Ray, who, despite some trouble he's gotten in recently, starting this year off great, and the past year and a half or so since he got in trouble, he's actually been he's been pretty productive. He played some shows with Florida Georgia Line last year. He's getting married. I believe I heard that somewhere. I think it was him. Some country star just got engaged recently, and one more good thing that's happening to him is he's playing Country Jam, because I have a feeling that that this is something that you'd probably aspire to do if you were a young country artist. You want to play a big festival like this, and I know, like, whenever they announce the Country Jam lineup, my phone goes crazy with emails from like Taste of Country and The Boot and all, and like Real Country, all these country sites that I subscribe to and things like that. So this festival is a big deal, and to see him doing this is awesome, and I'm a fan of his work, so he'll make this great. Lanco is one of these bands. They're also on the lineup. Lanco has been around for quite some time. I remember hearing about them maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, but they first had a song on the radio like 2 years ago, and they've been writing that ever since, and putting out new music. And so they're your classic case of an up-and-comer right now, was what I would call them. I believe they played at Dierks Bentley's festival last year in Colorado. Might be wrong about that, but I think they did. So they're coming back through Colorado. And even if they didn't play that, they play in Colorado quite a bit. So they're coming back, and that's cool to see. Walker Hayes is one of these guys who I believe got famous because he is friends with Bobby Bones. But that is not a knock on the guy, because I think he would have gotten famous regardless. I just think it happened a little quicker. And you hear about this dude, he is just, outside of his musical work and how talented of a performer he is, I believe the dude's a dad to like 6 or 7 kids. Obviously, we heard he had a tragedy not too long ago. That being said, to see him still working is... it's great to see that, and he will also make a good addition to this lineup. And for somebody that only has one song, being above this next guy I'm going to talk about, that's pretty cool. And that might have sounded like I was shitting on him a little bit with the Bobby Bones thing, but I totally was not at all. I pointed out because I'd never heard of him ever, and then Bobby Bones was talking about his friend who opened for him on tour, and then like the next week his song was #1. And so I'm just purely speculating, kind of being an asshole, not meaning to. But Walker Hayes, I love Walker Hayes. At least the one song of his that I know. And it is a new kind of country. I mean, every artist that come out has their own new style, and he's got his own style. So I think it'll add on this. My only thing that I got to question is, why is he above Rodney Atkins on this lineup? That makes no sense to me. Rodney Atkins was one of the hottest acts in the early 2000s, I believe. I listen to his stuff all the time, but he's one of these guys who's taken the same path as the Eli Young Band the past couple years, where every time he's come through, at least my area, he's played the Grizzly Rose or a smaller type venue. Nonetheless, really happy to see him end up this lineup, and I think that's where I'm going to stop, because I'm not familiar with the next... 6 artists, the rest of the lineup that's been announced, so I won't comment. I'll just list Tyler Rich, Ross Ellis, Adam Doliak, Smithfield, Jackson Mickelson, and Willie Jones are also going to be there. So yeah, get your tickets to Country Jam if you haven't yet. Their lineup is now complete and looking fucking awesome, and I have never been, but I've heard their campground is one of the best festival campgrounds out there, not just country, but music festivals in general. I heard camping at Country Jam is something else, and it's something that I plan on doing, if not this year, next. But yeah, this lineup looks awesome. I'll put a link in the description where you can see the lineup for yourself in case you skip through all me talking, and buy tickets and camping passes and things like that. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to hit subscribe and like the video if you liked it. Also, check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/concertaddiction, where we post everything that happens in the world of live music. We're talking about it over there, whether it's a festival lineup announcement like this, or a tour announcement, or any kind of live music-related news. We're talking about it over there. We also have a website, concertaddiction.com. Make sure to check it out as well. That'll do it for this one. Thanks for watching.